Before dawn on August 9, 2025, the sky over eastern Nebraska erupted in fury. The world was still, the air heavy with anticipation, as if the land itself sensed what was coming. In those quiet hours, the first distant rumbles of thunder rolled across the plains, warning of the chaos about to unfold. A violent storm system swept across the land, roaring winds and pounding rain shattering the early morning calm. The wind howled through the trees, bending them nearly to the ground, while sheets of rain hammered the fields and roads, turning familiar landscapes into a blur of motion and noise. This wasn't just a rainstorm, it was a derecho, a rare, long-lasting windstorm with hurricane-force gusts up to 91 miles per hour. Unlike a tornado, a derecho's power stretches for miles, its straight-line winds flattening everything in their path, leaving a trail of destruction that can span entire states. Lightning split the sky, thunder rattled homes, and rain fell so hard it erased the world outside. For a moment it felt as if day had turned to night, the storm's fury blotting out the dawn and plunging neighborhoods into a surreal electric darkness. From Omaha to Lincoln and small towns in between, families woke to chaos and fear, powerless against nature's wrath. Children clung to parents, pets hid under beds, and everyone listened as the wind battered their homes, hoping the walls would hold. The storm's path was wide, its destruction relentless, snapping trees, toppling power lines, and blocking streets with debris. Roads became impassable, neighborhoods were plunged into darkness, and emergency sirens wailed in the distance. As the storm moved east into Iowa and Missouri, it left behind a landscape of broken branches and silence. The wind faded, but the damage was everywhere, a stark reminder of the night's violence. For thousands, the day began with uncertainty, the true scale of the damage only revealed with the sunrise. As the first light crept over the horizon, neighbors stepped outside, surveying shattered trees, battered homes, and the daunting task ahead. A derecho's straight-line winds can rival a tornado's destruction, but without the twisting funnel, just a relentless forward push. Crops were flattened, roofs torn away, and entire communities left to pick up the pieces. The storm's impact was a harsh reminder of how quickly the weather can turn, and how vulnerable even the most prepared communities can be. Emergency crews rushed to respond, neighbors checked on each other, and the reality of recovery began to set in. As the first light crept over the horizon, Nebraskans braced for a day of cleanup and recovery. Volunteers gathered, determined to restore what the storm had taken, their resolve as strong as the winds that had battered their towns. The storm's legacy would linger for days, a testament to the power of an angry sky. Repairs would take time, and the scars on the land and in people's memories would not soon fade. In the Midwest, nature's moods are never far away. The land is shaped by wind and weather, and every storm leaves its mark. On this morning, the sky made sure no one forgot. Its anger echoed in every broken branch, every battered home, and every heart that faced the dawn with hope and determination. At Two Rivers State Park, nature's beauty turned deadly in a matter of moments, as a peaceful night was shattered by a sudden, violent storm. As campers slept, hurricane-force winds swept through the park, toppling a massive cottonwood tree and crushing a vehicle beneath its enormous weight. The storm struck with little warning, leaving those inside with no chance to escape. Inside the car, 2 people were trapped. One woman lost her life instantly, while a man was pinned, gravely injured and unable to move. The chaos and confusion of the moment made rescue efforts even more challenging. Firefighters from Waterloo raced to the scene, battling the wreckage for 90 tense minutes to free the survivor. Their determination and teamwork were put to the ultimate test as they worked against the clock and the elements. The injured man was rushed to the hospital, his condition critical, as paramedics fought to stabilize him on the way. Every second counted in the desperate effort to save his life. The tragedy was a stark reminder that even the most peaceful places can become perilous in a storm. The campsite, once filled with laughter and life, was now eerily silent, marked by devastation. First responders' courage shone through the darkness, but the loss was deeply felt by family and community. Grief and shock rippled through those who had once felt safe beneath the park's towering trees. Elsewhere, reports of injuries surfaced, including at Branched Oak State Recreation Area, where emergency crews responded to more calls for help as the storm's reach became clear. The storm's power left no one untouched, turning a place of recreation into a scene of heartbreak and destruction. Families and friends who came for relaxation now faced loss and uncertainty. In an instant, the wind transformed lives and landscapes, leaving behind scars that would take time to heal. The park's towering trees, once symbols of strength and shelter, became instruments of tragedy, their roots torn from the earth by the storm's fury. Nature's force is unpredictable, and on this morning, it demanded a heavy price. The sun rose over a changed landscape, bearing witness to the storm's devastation. The community mourned, united by loss and the sobering reality of the storm's might. In the aftermath, neighbors came together, finding strength in each other as they began the long process of healing and remembrance. As the storm raged, thunder echoed across the plains and lightning split the sky, turning night into a flickering, chaotic scene. Darkness swept across eastern Nebraska, swallowing entire neighborhoods and leaving families searching for flashlights in the pitch black. Wind snapped utility poles and downed power lines, plunging nearly 80,000 homes and businesses into blackout. Streets once alive with activity fell eerily silent, broken only by the distant wail of sirens. Omaha and Lincoln were hit hardest. Traffic lights failed, refrigerators warmed, and air conditioners fell silent in the summer heat. The hum of daily life was replaced by uncertainty and discomfort. Utility crews, joined by linemen from Kansas and Missouri, worked around the clock, clearing debris and restoring power. Their efforts were tireless, braving hazardous conditions to reconnect the grid. The task was slow and dangerous, with repairs expected to stretch into Sunday. Each downed line was a challenge, each fallen tree a new obstacle. For many, the outage meant spoiled food, stifling heat, and isolation from vital information. Radios and smartphones became lifelines connecting people to the outside world. The loss of electricity disrupted every aspect of daily life, from cooking to communication. Families gathered by candlelight, sharing stories and anxieties as they waited for updates. The storm revealed just how dependent modern life is on a steady current. Without it, routines unraveled and the comforts of home faded away. In the aftermath, patience and resilience became as essential as flashlights and bottled water. Neighbors leaned on each other, sharing supplies and hope. The lights would return, but the memory of that powerless morning would linger, a reminder of nature's force and the strength found in community. Not even the Nebraska State Penitentiary was spared. Fierce winds ripped open the roofs of 2 housing units, exposing inmates to the elements. With buildings unsafe, officials swiftly relocated 387 inmates to secure areas within the prison. The emergency plan worked. No injuries, no escapes, just a tense, orderly evacuation. All weekend visits were canceled as staff assessed the damage and restored order. The storm's force breached even concrete and steel, proving that no structure is truly invulnerable. The crisis within the prison mirrored the chaos outside. Nature's power knows no boundaries. Quick action and preparation prevented disaster, but the event underscored the storm's indiscriminate reach. On this wild morning, even a fortress became fragile. The storm's destruction stretched far beyond Omaha and Lincoln. In Blair, a state of emergency was declared after winds tore open a warehouse roof and flooding overwhelmed streets. Seward's beloved bookstore, Chapters Books and Gifts, was badly damaged, a blow to the local community. Lincoln lost countless old trees, roads were blocked, and the Lancaster Superfair's main stage was destroyed, forcing last-minute changes. Omaha's Pinnacle Bank Championship golf tournament was postponed, and daily routines were upended everywhere. Each town had its own stories of loss: torn roofs, flooded basements, canceled events. The cleanup would be long and costly, with scars visible on both landscape and spirit. The storm's impact rippled through every corner of the region, connecting communities in shared adversity. Across the plains, the wind left a mark that would not soon fade. In the storm's wake, Nebraskans rallied. First responders worked tirelessly, rescuing the trapped, clearing roads, and checking on neighbors. Health officials issued warnings about generator safety and food spoilage, while cooling centers opened for those without power. The Red Cross set up shelters for the displaced, offering food, water, and comfort. Neighbors grabbed chainsaws, cleared debris, and shared supplies, embodying the Midwest's spirit of cooperation. The community's response was swift and compassionate, turning destruction into determination. Volunteers and professionals alike became the backbone of recovery. The storm tested the region's resolve, but unity and kindness proved stronger. In adversity, the true character of the community shone through. As cleanup began, new warnings arrived. More storms were on the horizon. The National Weather Service issued flood watches, predicting another round of heavy rain and possible severe weather. With the ground already saturated, even a few more inches could trigger flash floods and new dangers. The threat extended beyond Nebraska, with much of the Midwest bracing for impact. Officials urged vigilance, stay informed, seek shelter at the first sign of thunder, and be ready to act. The weekend became a test of endurance, as communities balanced recovery with renewed caution. The storm's aftermath was not just about what had happened, but what might still come. Preparedness and awareness became the watchwords for everyone in the region. The sky's anger was not finished yet. For Nebraskans, this storm was part of a troubling pattern. In just 12 months, 3 major weather events, 2 windstorms and a blizzard, had battered the region, each leaving widespread outages and costly damage. The repeated disasters wore on residents and utility crews, turning recovery into a cycle of exhaustion and resilience. Each storm brought new lessons, prompting faster responses and better preparation. The community's resolve was tested again and again, but experience bred efficiency and solidarity. The wild weather raised questions. Are storms getting worse? Is this the new normal? Whatever the answer, Nebraskans faced each challenge with determination. The past year's storms forged a community both wary and wise. Life in the Midwest means living with the sky's unpredictability. Thunderstorms, tornadoes, blizzards, these are woven into the fabric of prairie life. Generations have learned to respect the weather, preparing homes and families for sudden change. Emergency kits, storm plans, and community alerts are essential tools for survival. Cities strengthen infrastructure, run drills, and open shelters when needed. The storms bring destruction, but also reveal the region's resilience and unity. Neighbors help neighbors, and communities rebuild, again and again. Living under the vast prairie sky demands respect, preparation, and a strong spirit. In Nebraska, the storms may come, but the people endure and thrive.